In the heart of rural England, nestled among ancient oaks and dense foliage, lay a forest so eerily captivating that few dared to venture within its depths. Locals spoke hushed whispers of strange occurrences and unexplained disappearances, but tales of the haunted woodland were often brushed off as mere folklore. However, on a moonless night, a group of adventurous friends decided to defy caution and explore the haunted realm. As they stepped past the forest's boundary, an unsettling chill enveloped them, causing their breath to hitch in the cold night air. The dense canopy above blocked out the moon and stars, leaving the forest shrouded in darkness. They pressed on, guided only by dim torchlight and an unwavering curiosity that overshadowed their growing unease. Whispers seemed to echo through the trees, faint at first, but gradually intensifying. The rustling leaves took on a sinister quality, as if unseen eyes were watching their every move. Their hearts pounded, and each step felt heavier than the last. But their determination to unravel the forest's mysteries pushed them deeper into the foreboding realm. As they ventured on, the forest began to toy with their senses. A friend claimed to hear her own name being called from afar, her voice carrying a haunting, disembodied tone. Another swore he saw fleeting shadows darting among the trees, yet when they turned to investigate, nothing remained. Their path led them to an ancient, dilapidated cabin, its walls consumed by creeping ivy and decay. The door creaked open with a chilling groan, inviting them to step inside. Against their better judgment, they entered, the suffocating air thick with the scent of rotten dampness. Inside, they discovered peculiar relics, arcane symbols etched onto the walls, and an old journal that spoke of a malevolent presence lurking within the forest. Each page reeked of despair and madness, recounting the gradual descent into darkness of a soul long lost to the woods. A deep sense of foreboding washed over the group, and they decided it was time to leave. Yet, as they approached the exit, they found themselves inexplicably turned around, unable to find the way back. Panic set in, and they retraced their steps, only to realize they were going in circles. Frantic and disoriented, they stumbled upon a clearing where an eerie glow emanated from the earth itself. They found their names etched into tombstones, surrounded by the graves of countless others who had succumbed to the forest's malevolence over the centuries. The forest's grip tightened, playing merciless tricks on their minds. The chilling whispers grew louder, tormenting them with the voices of their loved ones, long since passed. Shadows danced at the corners of their vision, and a suffocating sense of dread enveloped them. As the night wore on, the group fractured, paranoia turning friends into enemies. Fear and hysteria consumed them, and they began to turn on one another in a desperate bid for survival. Each terrifying sound amplified their terror, and they realized the forest fed on their fear, gaining strength with every frightened heartbeat. With dawn approaching, they stumbled upon a decrepit altar, surrounded by gnarled roots and skeletal remains. The journal warned of a ritual that could appease the forest's malevolence, but it required a terrible sacrifice. The group faced an impossible decision: to offer one of their own or succumb to the forest's endless torment. In the end, only one emerged from the haunted woods, his sanity hanging by a thread. He fled, never to return, haunted by the memory of his friends lost to the unforgiving clutches of the malevolent forest. And so, the legends endured, whispered from one generation to the next, a chilling reminder of the horrors that lay hidden within the dark heart of the haunted woodland. It was a gloomy autumn afternoon, and the mist hung heavily among the gnarled trees in the heart of Blackwood Forest. The crimson leaves crunched beneath my feet as I ventured deeper into the eerie wilderness. I, Emily, had always been fascinated by the macabre, but little did I know that my thirst for adventure would lead me into the most horrifying experience of my life. As I delved further into the forest's sinister embrace, I felt an unsettling chill tingle down my spine. Every rustle of the leaves and every distant hoot of an owl echoed through the dense woods, magnifying my fear. Still, an unexplainable force pushed me forward. Perhaps it was my insatiable curiosity, or maybe something more sinister was at play. As the day gave way to the embrace of night, the forest transformed into a realm of shadowy shapes and haunting sounds. My flashlight's feeble beam barely illuminated the way ahead, and every creak of the branches seemed like a sinister whisper from unseen malevolence. Suddenly, I heard a faint cry in the distance, a mournful sound that sent shivers down my spine. I couldn't ignore it. An unspoken feeling compelled me to investigate. Carefully, I followed the anguished wail through the undergrowth until I stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin. The cabin stood weathered and forsaken, as if forgotten by time itself. Its presence sent shudders down my spine, but I couldn't resist the urge to uncover its secrets. As I entered, an overwhelming sense of dread enveloped me. The air was suffocating and seemed to carry 1,000 whispers from the past. Among the debris, I discovered an old diary, its pages yellowed with age. It belonged to a young woman named Isabella, who had lived in the cabin over a century ago. As I read her entries, I realized her life had been consumed by the sinister forces lurking within the forest. Isabella had been a seeker of forbidden knowledge, just like me. She had delved into dark rituals to summon entities beyond human comprehension. Her insatiable curiosity had led her astray, and now her soul was trapped in eternal torment, haunting these woods and luring others to share her dreadful fate. My heart pounded in my chest as I understood the peril I was in. Panic threatened to consume me, but I couldn't abandon Isabella to her lonely, cursed existence. I had to break the cycle and set her soul free. With trembling hands, I gathered what little courage remained and performed a ritual, seeking to release Isabella from her torment. The air crackled with energy, and an overwhelming sense of dread gripped me, as if the very forest resisted my efforts. Suddenly, the room plunged into darkness. A spectral figure appeared before me, Isabella's tormented visage. Her ghostly eyes met mine, filled with sorrow and desperation. The ritual had worked, but it had also summoned something far more sinister. A malevolent presence now loomed over us, drawn by the magic I had unleashed. Isabella's anguished spirit warned me to flee, to leave her to her fate, but I couldn't bear to abandon her. Together, we battled the malevolence, but it was an entity far beyond our understanding. In the midst of the desperate struggle, I realized that the only way to save myself and Isabella was to reverse the ritual. With tears streaming down my face, I spoke the incantation in reverse. Hoping to undo the havoc I had caused, in a blinding flash of light, the malevolent presence was banished, and Isabella's spirit faded away into the unknown. The forest fell silent once more, and I found myself alone, gasping for breath. I made my way back through the darkened woods, vowing never to return to Blackwood Forest. It had forever changed me, leaving me haunted by the horrors I had encountered. The line between curiosity and danger, I realized, was dangerously thin. To this day, I carry the weight of that night with me, a constant reminder that some secrets are best left undiscovered, and that the darkness within the woods can consume even the bravest souls. Blackwood Forest will forever remain a haunting memory, a place I dare not speak of, lest its malevolence be reawakened once more. The dense forest loomed before me, its gnarled branches twisted like bony fingers, beckoning me further into its heart. A sense of foreboding filled the air, but my curiosity got the better of me. I, Amelia, a young lady with an adventurous spirit, couldn't resist the allure of the dark forest. With every step, the daylight waned, swallowed by the oppressive canopy above. Shadows danced around me, and the rustling of leaves felt like whispers from unseen entities. My heart pounded in my chest, but I reassured myself that it was just the echo of my own footsteps. As I ventured deeper, a strange silence enveloped the forest. No birds sang, and no critters scurried about. It was as if the very essence of life had abandoned this cursed place. A chill ran down my spine, but I pressed on, determined to uncover its secrets. Amidst the twisted trees, I stumbled upon an ancient stone altar, half consumed by moss and time. It seemed strangely out of place, a grim reminder of darker times. Feeling uneasy, I turned to leave, but an eerie fog encircled me, disorienting my senses. The forest became a labyrinth of nightmarish shapes. Panic clawed at my throat, and I fought to keep my bearings. But each path I took only led me deeper into the heart of the darkness. I felt like a trapped mouse in a maze designed by malevolent forces. Suddenly, a distant sound broke through the oppressive silence, a mournful wail that sent shivers down my spine. My heart sank, and I tried to ignore the dread building inside me. But the eerie cries grew louder, and with each passing moment, they seemed to draw nearer. My mind played tricks on me as I glimpsed shadowy figures darting between the trees. Were they the spirits of the forest, or just my imagination? I could no longer tell. The forest became a living entity, taunting and tormenting me. In a desperate attempt to escape, I ran, my feet stumbling over roots and rocks. My breath came in ragged gasps, and my heart felt as if it would explode. But the forest was relentless, and it toyed with me, guiding me in circles, and laughing silently at my futile attempts to break free. Exhausted and terrified, I finally collapsed near an ancient tree with gnarled roots. As I caught my breath, I noticed strange symbols carved into the tree's trunk. They seemed ancient and possessed an aura of malevolence. I felt a strange connection to the symbols, as if they were calling out to me, inviting me to join them, fighting against the allure. I knew I had to escape this cursed place. Summoning my last reserves of strength, I pushed myself up and staggered on. The forest seemed to resist my departure, but I refused to yield to its sinister grasp. Just when it seemed the darkness would claim me, a faint glimmer of light appeared in the distance. With renewed hope, I stumbled towards it, pushing aside the branches that seemed to claw at me like skeletal hands. At last, I emerged from the nightmarish forest, the cold air of the outside world filling my lungs like the sweetest nectar. I collapsed on the forest edge, grateful to have escaped with my life. Since that day, I have never been the same. The memories of that dark forest haunt my dreams, a constant reminder of the malevolence that lurks within the shadows. The forest took something from me that day, something I can never fully explain. So, beware the allure of the dark forest, for it harbors ancient secrets and malevolent spirits that seek to ensnare unwary souls. And as for me, I shall never forget the spine-chilling horrors that lurk within those cursed woods, forever etched into my memory like a haunting melody.